All right, all right. So we're currently live right now. We're just waiting for David and Jesse, to call in, and once they call in, then we'll be good to go. The lines are open, so if you guys want to call in, you guys will be more than welcome to call in. And if you guys have any questions, David and Jesse, and we might be having some surprise guests calling in. And here we go.
This call is now being
Esta es
recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello, hello.
Hey, what's up, James?
Nothing much. Just right here. I just got done painting the ceiling in the restroom, and now as soon as whenever I get off this call, I gotta go ahead and put some primer on the walls because of my friend behind us she's putting the screws on me right now, putting the pressure to let me know that I got to the next few days, to get this project done, or she's gonna be having somebody else, come take a look at the project, and I don't want that to happen.
I don't have you sleeping in the bathroom. I don't know what it is about a strong woman, right, that'll have her husband moving and grooving, man. As soon as you know the pressure's applied, and she doesn't tell you, hey, the pressure's applied, she'll say something subtle. She'll say something like, oh, it's not done yet. Hey, I got somebody that wants to check out the bathroom. Yeah. or you'll get back and there'll be some paint right there by the bathroom door, like hey, what's that bathroom looking like? Still not done. It's something subtle, and at that moment she applied the pressure. I was looking at the wall today and I was wondering what the new color would look like on there. Yep.
Yeah, so she's
That's why I love my wife though, because my wife is very direct. My wife, she has no problem looking at me like, look, man, what are we doing here? Really? Is this what this is? Hey, so we're live right now.
hmm Yeah, we are live. As a matter of fact,
Okay.
we got Righteous Monkey in here, and he's waving his hand. And we also got a Casey underscore fan one. Good afternoon, guys. And Casey fan underscore fan numero uno. She runs a TikTok channel called Love Locked Up Connections, and she offers pen pals for any gentlemen that are looking for love behind bars, if you will.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank both you guys for tuning in, and anybody that's listening. We appreciate this. And Jesse and David doing our weekly show at the 4 o'clock Sunday night special. Thank you anybody for tuning in. Appreciate I think Art LeBeau's passed away. And he used to do his show on Sunday, so we got to fill in for Artie. We're doing our best, man. Jesse posts the kids here and there. This is Norma from Norco. This is Chubby Dave.
Uh,
Chubby Dave, better watch out. We sent a shout out. Right now, I'm rooting for Kansas City. I'm a Rams fan. I don't want to hear any bellow from Iceman and the other guys out there that shoot me down because I'm a Rams fan.
No.
Yeah, but
you're a Rams fan. I'm sorry to hear about that.
this is the first time Jesse's hearing this too, so he's looking around kind of confused, like who is this animal in front of me?
Who sent you?
Yeah, but right now, look, I'm rooting for Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. There, I said it. I watched that game because Tay was up in the box.
Okay.
That's just what it is, man. I'm a romantic at heart. We have the Kansas City lady. She's obviously a love connector.
No, that doesn't mean she's just her handle is KC.
Hey,
oh no,
I'm
yeah,
saying
nah,
that
she,
she's
hey,
a Kansas City fan.
hey, nah. So yeah, no, she's like a diehard Kansas City fan.
Kansas City?
She has everything. She got bobbleheads, she got trophies, she got jerseys, she got the whole 9 yards. She probably has
She's big.
she probably has her car, in a upholstery of KC up and down.
Okay. There you go.
That's your KC fan.
My statement stands.
Yeah.
My statement stands. And you know what? I was rooting for them, man. I wanted them to do it. They're a likable team. All those guys that are on there, they're very likable.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to turn on a team. As soon as a team does something that I don't like, it's easy for me to turn on them. You know, Sean McVay, he's a hopped up motherfucker, man. Sean McVay, he runs up and down that sideline like he made me want to like believe in the Rams, you know. But in their LA team, so I root for the LA team.
Gotta go.
But there's teams that I'll turn on fast, like Cleveland Browns. I turned on that team so fast, like I did. Like I was rooting for them because I saw Rob.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I saw one of them comedians that was wearing a Cleveland Browns jersey, and this dude, he was funny as hell, man. He made me laugh. His jokes were so funny, I thought about becoming a Cleveland Browns fan, and they were just so terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like that team was so terrible, and I could get behind something like that. You know, it's like, look, man, these guys are horrible. You know, they're almost fun to watch how bad they lose. You know, and something happened. It was that dude that got caught up for the rape thing, or you know.
Oh, there goes those key words right there. There goes those key words. The R jacket.
What do you call it?
Yeah, so you got misconduct. Conduct.
Snapchat.
You know what? A lot of people are using they're using SA. They'll say SA or SO.
He got all those things right there. Yeah, so he got caught up for that, right?
Yeah.
And look, whether Deshaun Watson did it or not, you know, I turned on Cleveland over it. They're done. They're dead to me. I don't know if I can use they're deceased to me.
They're no longer a part of my orbit.
That team, as far as I'm concerned, is no more.
Yeah.
So, but Kansas City, on the other hand, those dudes are explosive, man. You got Patrick Mahomes with the left-handed passes. You know, you got pop stars all in the stands. You got them hopping up and down. Like it's an exciting thing to be a part of. You know, and I don't mind. I guess taking a sports hall pass.
Okay, so you're creeping.
I'm creeping into the Kansas City box.
I see.
You know, and
Sicken me.
I don't even know if we can use that word. Can we use creep?
I think that one might be okay. I think that one's good.
You and the rest of the creeps sicken me.
Yeah, so I'm jumping up and down. You know, I'm gonna have my Kansas City little, what do you call it, those snow hats they got, or they look like Christmas hats.
Yeah.
Got those ones, and
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so much respect, man, and it's cool. Look, I think it's a good thing that this lady's doing the pen pal service for guys. You know, there's guys in here that are extremely lonely, and there's you know, people out there that are extremely lonely, and sometimes it works. A lot of times it doesn't, though, but sometimes it does.
I got a question. If Casey happens to be listening or on there, ask her if she wouldn't happen to be tied to. She doesn't associate with somebody right here in 5 Block.
A guy there in Santiago that's doing something.
Yeah, I believe that's her dude. I think her dude's right here on this yard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and that'll be it's cool, man.
Yeah. Okay.
People get a response in a minute.
So yeah, if I see something up here,
yeah,
I'll let you know.
Real quick before we move on, I just wanted to send out for anybody that's listening. I know this one records, so people can go back and listen. Right? Anybody that's listened to Dave and I for a while knows that we steadily clowning, we steadily talking shit, we roast people. And the other day we did a session on Friday, and we were roasting everybody, and we happened to roast one of our buddies, Javi, on here. You know, basically bringing up his old school mechanic style. You know what I mean? So for anybody that may have misconstrued it or taken it any way, you know what I mean? Like, you got to remember, we all live in here together. You know what I mean? So the reality of it is, if anybody has anything real bad to say about somebody, they say it to each other's face. You know what I mean? So as far as in that sense, you know what I mean? Hopefully nothing got misconstrued. Nobody got their feelings hurt. Nothing goes left or right. But the reality is that's what we do. We clown. You know what I mean? We joke. We talk a lot of shit. We don't just talk shit about, you know. If it's something serious, this isn't going to be the place for it, because that's not what this channel is all about. There's no conflict amongst anybody in here. There's no conflict amongst any of the participants on the channel. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of this channel. It's to show a level of unity and solidarity. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to put that out there just for the sake, if anybody, you know, might have felt offended or anything by anything we may have said the other day. You know what I mean? Because that ain't it at all. And anybody that knows us personally in person knows that But that's how we operate. You know what I mean? If somebody has something bad to say about somebody that's genuinely bad, we have no problem saying it to their face. You know,
that's the thing about prison. Look, what we've come to realize growing up in the system and being in prison is that, look, the more we like somebody, the more we roast them. That's just what it is.
Yeah, they get
yeah, we just do. We did it. We spread it around the other day. The Iceman with the 49ers. I think I called Fish Lair SoCal, Go Fish Lair SoCal, and these I became Chubby Dave.
Yeah, today you have not let the handle Chubby Dave go.
I just can't. I can't. I love that handle. I'm telling you, it's a part of who I am now.
Right.
Like Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, just for the sake of maintaining the humility and the fluidity of this channel. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to think that there's any ill will in here amongst anybody that participates in this channel or anybody here. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the life we live anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, you know,
it's not who we are.
It's not who we are. You know what I mean? So if we're clowning and talking shit and people get their feelings hurt, you know, sorry about your feelings, but that's not, there's no ill intent on it. You know?
I'm pretty sure I called Jesse a cross-dresser the other day also.
Yeah, so that might have had something.
Yeah, I have to. If I'm going to go down my inventory list of all the people that I had harmed in the making of the show, Jesse's like the top of them. I called him so many things.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
He had me wearing silk stockings with the
with some Pro Club boxers on.
Pro Club, yeah.
So that's just, I sincerely apologize. See, right here, you know, face to face, Jess, I am sorry.
Yeah.
Will I stop? No.
Well, I don't take it back, because if I take it back, that means I got to give you the stockings and the garter belt back.
Yeah, Jesse loves these things.
And that is now officially part of my costume.
Yeah, it's just what it is. But it's 2024, so we don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah.
No feedback in the comments.
Yeah, no feedback in the comments. You know what I mean? It's okay. You can wear what you want to wear, dress how you want to dress.
Yep.
But so that was that. I didn't mean to deter the topic of the conversation, but I just felt that was necessary, just for the sake of anybody who may have been listening the other day and maybe listening today, or go back and listen, so that they understand that no, that's not what, you know, this channel is about. It's not what we're about. And if I offended anybody or anything like that, then I apologize. My bad.
Hey, now look, there's another thing that I wanted to address. I was told by a few people, right? Like, me and Jess, we talk fast sometimes. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And I wanted to shine a light on that, because this is a podcast about prison. For one, it's about prison recovery. It's about redemption. There's a lot of things, but this particular segment here, this is about Jesse and I and our journey, you know, towards freedom, what we're working on. The thing is, look, Jess and I, we have to do a lot of things when we leave the cell in a short period of time. We're always on the clock. Right now, we're on the clock again. So we have a yard that's probably going to open around 6:30, 6:45. So we're on the clock. Sometimes we want to talk about a lot of things, and we're worried about, well, the call's going to run out. Maybe we're not going to be able to finish the thought, and that goes outside the cell also. We get out there, we're on a yard where there's hundreds of people. There's probably 500 plus people on the yard. Jesse and I we're social butterflies. We network a lot in here. We have things going on with guys that are in Criminal and Gang Members Anonymous. We have guys that are involved with Alternatives to Violence. We run programs. We mentor people. We're involved in the sports teams here. So I'm a barber, so I got guys hitting me up all the time. I think yesterday I cut probably 5 haircuts. I've cut 2 haircuts today, and then still had to go out to yard. So we're always in a hurry. So sometimes our brains don't slow down. I don't know if that was all the drugs we did. I don't know what caused that, but when we go, we go. And some of the listeners might have to edit the recording to slow it down a little bit if you want to hear everything we have to say. But we also do we hear ear hustle. I don't know if we can say ear hustle.
Yeah, I think you're good on that one.
We hear it. Hey, we hear it sometimes, and that guy's, look, I have the Ear Hustle podcast voice. I do. He's like, look, I want to tell you all the story about San Quentin in 1984. You know what? Look, I can't maintain that. I can't maintain that speed. I'll try. I'll do the best I can to slow it down. but we just ask you guys to bear with us a little bit. We're not professional broadcasters. We love what we do, though. We love being here with you guys. So on that note, we were.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
All right, Jess, you got 60 seconds. Make it count. Everything you have to say for the next hour, squeeze it into this. Yeah. So, anyway, before this cuts off, we were planning to talk about the honor buildings, how they got the honor building concepts here on the yard and prison, something that came down from Sacramento, and James, we'll get into it on the next call.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be waiting. We got about 4 to 5 people in here right now, so definitely exciting.
That's cool.
Yup. Hey, Marlene, how's it going? Marlene says I missed the roasting session, laughing out loud. And KC_fan Uno says I don't have a dude that's on C Yard. If so, he's my pin pal. That's right. Thank you for that clarification right there. And then, hey, Amy, how's it going? I appreciate that because it rubbed me a wrong way. I just don't feel good about it. So I'm glad you cleared that up. Yup, yeah. They cleared that up right there. And let's see right here.
This call is now being
Esta es
recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
All right, James?
Yup.
Yes, sir.
All right, and we just got let me tell you who we have in here so far. We got Righteous Monkey, we got KC_fan 1, we got
Shout out.
we got Marlene, we also got Amy, Scorpio Rising, we got Chubby Jessica. Hi friends, great to be here. And this is my favorite show. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
That's cool, man. We sent our shout out to all you guys. Marlene, I was just asking Gary about you the other day.
I did. I asked him the same thing, and he was like, "Oh, I think she was at work."
Yeah.
I said, "Marlene wasn't on there, dog. What's going on? Are we losing?"
What's going on here? Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, "No, she was at work because she hit me up late. I was already asleep."
One of our staunchest supporters.
Yeah. Most of us in here have abandonment issues, so if we start to notice some of you guys falling off, it's going to tug at the heart. We're going to be worried. So we're like, the other night when you were reading off who was in there, we're like, man, Marlene's usually always here. So I told Gary yesterday in the yard, I told him, hey, what happened to your Fremont flu? I said, we didn't hear her on there. And he's like, yeah, I think she was working because she hit me up late whenever, but I was asleep already, So I was like, all right, just making sure everything's okay at home,
We were having a conversation the other day with some guys on the yard about Righteous Monkey and some of the things that he was doing out there in Arizona.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are definitely on our minds when we're not doing this,
Yeah.
And we talk about you guys all the time, about the listeners, supporters, the good questions that Chubby Jessica was asking.
Yeah.
There were some good questions, got us thinking.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good stuff. And today we even asked this crazy. I got one of my boys that I've actually been trying to convince to come on the channel because he would definitely be an asset to the channel, but he's still a little skeptical for different reasons. And Dave basically had told him, he's like, man, this channel has kind of changed my life, and so old boy asked him, well, how so? How has this channel changed your life? And Dave was able to go into several reasons, and of course I was sitting right there. We were reffing a softball game, and so I was sitting right there. Basically, we're just kind of ping-ponging reasons that this channel has been an asset to our lives, and so it was just a trip. And exactly like Dave said, when you guys aren't there, you guys come up with topics of conversation for us in here. We talked about Jessica having great questions yesterday. We talked about, how Righteous Monkey is doing the same thing out there, and by him supporting us, it lets us know that obviously we're on the right path, because if he's been doing that, if he's been, working in recovery and dealing with these kind of things and promoting pro-social activities, surrounding recovery, and he's been dedicated to us, then it makes us feel good that hey, maybe we're onto something,
And even Marlene with the family support. You know,
Right.
like we know that you're Gary's cousin. That's, you know, I think that's what, you know, yeah, and the thing is, it's amazing that you're supporting him in this, and also in people that are involved with Gary. You know, Gary's somebody that's been in my life for a while. I know him from Calipatria, and he's always had the same positive attitude. You know, like he's got a real infectious smile. He's very positive. You know, when he got his denial, like he didn't make excuses, and he was open about the bad feelings that he felt when they pulled his date. You know, but he did not spiral, and he was an inspiration to a lot of us because we go through things in here. You know, I mentioned about probably, I don't know, maybe like a few months ago, where I wanted to beat some dude up on the yard out here, and those are forks in the road. You know, I felt so guilty about wanting to beat this dude up as far along as I was in my recovery, that's a fork, and I can go either way with that. But it was guys like Gary, guys like Jesse, that showed me, hey, you know what, just don't worry about it, man. Pick yourself back up. You didn't do nothing. You didn't fight. What's going on in your head right there, you got to get over it, man. You did everything you were supposed to do in a situation like that, and I was able to move forward. Gary was the first one that I seen got hit hard, man, with that getting his board date pulled. I'd never seen that before in my life. I've seen it now. It's happened a few times after that, but he was the first person. I was somebody who hardly saw any lifers go home at all. You know, he was actually one of the first group of lifers that got granted board that I had ever seen. I had never seen it happen in any other prison. I heard rumors throughout the years, but it was huge for me to see lifers go home, and it was huge for me to see lifers' dates get pulled. Blew my mind. And that man right there, he took it in stride. He took it in stride, man, and he used it as a learning lesson.
Yep, he doubled down. He didn't unravel.
Yep, and he's inspiring us every day. So Marlene should be very proud of your cousin.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, he's changing lives here. We always think about him, and we always see him on the yard.
And it's probably crazy because, I mean, you know better than he does. That's your family, you know, better than we do. But, you know, in these recovery communities, we talked in depth about, because we have to really understand how we became the kind of people we are, our upbringing, and in our cultures, nobody ever wants to smut up their family. You know, nobody ever wants to say, hey, my mom was a bad mother, or hey, my dad was a bad dad, or hey, you know what, my family's full of gang members and drug addicts, or anything like that. You know, so most of us that are friends in this recovery community, we know a lot of details about each other's lives, intimate details, because we have to learn to face those realities amongst ourselves in order to be able to face them, to come out of denial and face them and before the board members, you know. And so you should probably know, and it may shock you, you know, like if you've known him a lot longer than both of us, if like you understand truly who he is today, then you can truly appreciate where, you know, because you know where he came from. You know, you're his familia, so you definitely know where he came from, and I'm sure he probably sticks out compared to a lot of people in his family, because it sounds like, you know, that this lifestyle was kind of bred in his blood.
I was laughing because I'm sure we stick out. All of us stick out like sore thumbs in our families.
Right. No, for sure. That's 100%.
Yeah, I know. I probably got some family members and they're like, man, what the hell happened to that guy?
Yeah. Look at my best friend. A pit viper the other day was telling me, he's like, hey, dog, he hit me up later after we had that session with Lisa.
Yeah.
And he messaged, he's like, man, you guys sounded smart. You guys did cool. And so he said, hey, call me tonight. I call him, and he tells me, hey, dog, whatever they're teaching you in that program, stick with it, dog, because it's working. Or I go, what program? And he goes, well, aren't you in a program or something? And I was like, nah, fool, this is my lifestyle now, bro. This is who I am. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, it just sounds like
well, send me the curriculum.
Yeah, send me. And this is my crimey. This is my homeboy. You know what I mean? Like my best friend. Yeah. You know, he's been out. He's done time in the feds, done time in the state. You know what I mean? He's done a grip of time, but he's been out there for about 10 years now. And you know, he just got tired and said, I don't want to die a low life in prison. So he got his shit together, and you know, now he has a bunch of Airbnbs, and he drives heavy machinery.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah, but for a dude that's like a brother to us, to hear us like this, and he was just like, man, fool, he's like, you sound 100. But I talk to him all the time. That's the crazy thing about it. That it's like, well, what was the difference? He goes, I don't know, fool. I was hearing the things you guys were talking about, and I just couldn't comprehend. Like I couldn't even realize that you guys are having conversations like that. To me, it just blew me away, and I was like, oh, this is every day.
Him and I were members of the same gang.
Yeah.
You know, so we're friends now, but we're actually friends. We're not just homeboys or ex-homeboys or anything like that. Like he's somebody who's a friend of mine, and it's crazy though that he knows me as being a member of his gang. You know, and when you're in a gang, you're always trying to like it's a competitive thing. You know, everybody wants to be the one that shines. Everybody wants to be the star of the gang, especially when you start getting recognition. And so it's crazy that it's just a different, it's a different element to our life now.
Well, it just goes back to what you were saying about, our family. See, we stick out, to our family. We stick out to everybody. Like the reality of it is, they're the ones who are affected the most by the stuff we're doing, and they're the first ones also to see the change in the things that we're doing. It just trips me out for him, because he knows this. I've been talking to him, but I honestly think that he was just feeling like, okay, that I was just talking normal to him, and he didn't understand how much I've transformed, until he listened from the outside looking in. When he's talking to me, we're just having general conversation about just normal stuff, about business, about getting into real estate when we get out, little things like that. But I've always been a businessman, and he's always known that. He just couldn't. It was the insightful things that he was impacted by, and he was just like, man, bro, like, keep doing what you're doing, dog. He goes, because whatever it is, that stuff's working. I told him, this is my life, dog. This is who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a fool anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not built for that craziness anymore. It was a part of me at one time. But, you know what I mean? Like, he knows, like I said, he's my co-defendant, you know what I mean? So he knows what it is, and the reality of it is, he was proud of us, and David the same way. He was just like, man, you guys sound super smart, you know what I mean? And I'm like, smart? I mean, I never considered myself super smart, but I appreciate the kudos.
I took a good look in the mirror, and I was like, man, I don't look very smart.
Yeah. I looked over at David, and I was like, well, you look a little smarter than me, so I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe he's talking to you.
Yeah.
Nah, but so thank you, Marlene, and everybody else for your support. We kind of went on a little rant, ramble.
Would that be considered a viaje?
Yeah, we went on a little viaje straight up.
All right. See, Chubby Jessica, I know a little Spanish words,
Yeah.
All right, so this is the thing. We were planning on talking about honor buildings here, because the concept of an honor building is basically to honor a portion of the population with more privileges than other people have, privileges and incentives to do good or to continue doing good. So before we get into what the honor building actually is, I want to ask Jesse, what is Jesse Nava's, and I say Jesse Nava's, concept of an honor building? If you wrote the policy today, what would that building look like?
What are you, the governor of Texas?
Jesse
Nava.
Jesse Nava.
All right.
So, I had to go to my official voice, Jess.
Oh, okay.
Jesse Nava.
So for an honor building, huh? Let me see. What would I consider what would be my layout for an honor building?
Absolutely.
I think first of all.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
That damn robot lady.
Right. An honor building is supposed to be like a poster child of the yard for recovery and rehabilitation. For people to give other inmates, other residents on the yard incentives and motivation to want to obtain those other privileges and these, the specialty treatment that certain individuals may be receiving on the yard, right? But in order to do that, I believe that you have to fill the building up with people who have actually rehabilitated and recovered from something, and personally, we live here, we see what's going on right there in 5 Block, and it's just now starting to get filled up with individuals, people can look over there and say, okay, man, that building's, those are guys in there who've gotten their life together. Because initially the first, 30, 40, 50 guys they put in that building were all guys that had just made a horrible choice and came to prison. And they hadn't really rehabilitated from anything or recovered from anything because they came to prison and never got in trouble to begin with.
And a lot of those guys, they're denying that they even did anything, or they're
most of them are
minimizing what they're here for and stuff like that. And there's some strange individuals. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
But I want to know, right? I want to know the design of the building, Jess. This is a building that was designed by Jesse Nava.
Right.
I want to know what's this building. You walk in there, and you're an outside person. You're doing a tour, and you walk in there. What do we see?
Well, like I said, first of all, I would fill it up with the kind of people that are starting to go over there now. A bunch of guys that, have actually been through some shit here in prison, so that when I'm on the outside looking in, I can see myself in some of those guys, first and foremost.
Like people are with us.
Right, right. You know what I mean? Like, so I would definitely, and like I said, now 5 Block is filling up with some great individuals, you know what I mean? But it was off to a rocky start, And there's, there might have been one or two, 3, 4 guys that started off in the building that I would look to, like, for some advice, you know what I mean? But it's starting to fill up now, which is great, you know what I mean? But me personally, I would have, I definitely would have put some microwaves in there. I've been to yards in the state of California that actually had microwaves in them, level 4 180 yards that had microwaves. So I don't see why you couldn't put a microwave on a level 3.
Yeah, they're in prison. It's not an unheard of thing. They're around.
Right,
Microwaves in the day rooms are our thing.
I'd put softbacks.
Softbacks. Describe a softback.
A softback would be basically, right now they have hardwood benches and hard metal tables, in the day room. So I'd remove the hard wooden benches and I would put, the seats that they're like cushion seats, that you can actually lean back. The way it's set up is it leans a little bit, it's not reclining.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
How long were we on that ramble, man? About
I have no idea, but obviously 50 minutes.
How long did we talk about Gary for?
Now I don't like Gary. Yeah. Look, while I was singing his praises, now I don't like him. He just ran through my whole
I told you how quick I turned on a sports team.
Yeah.
Kansas City's out too.
Yeah, yeah. If the Rams didn't have a chance with you, then Gary and KC got nothing coming.
Yeah. So hold on, because I want to be more descriptive about what because we know the concept, we know what it looks like. We've even seen them in the past, the softbacks, the seats and stuff. But it's important to know how bad these cells are, how bad these day rooms are, what it's like to sit on something that's not a softback.
Well, you're the descriptive major, so I'll let you take care of that.
For 2 decades plus.
All right, so this 15-minute call just came to an end. They should be calling you back shortly. And hey, what's up, Elias, man, el hombre de yellow. What's up? What's going on, homies? I'll go ahead and read off that message to them right now as soon as they go ahead and reconnect. And I also see that question from Chubby Jessica. What is Jesse thinking about real estate in Nuevo León? All right, or León. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Sundays it's normally Jesse and David at about this time. We've been doing it for the last few months, and they're definitely good energy. They bring good conversation and good topics to the channel, and really appreciate them. And I think later on tonight we might be having Eric Fuentes coming on. I'm not exactly sure at what time though.
This call is now being recorded.
Esta es Global Tel Link.
Global Tel Link. What happened to the rest? Or should I say Garbage Tel Link?
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o... Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
All right. So we got it. We got El Iceman in here. El hombre de hielo. What's going on, homies?
El hombre de hielo. Eso.
Yep. Hey, we were just talking about you, and I went light on the 49ers.
Yeah, went light on the 49ers.
I went light, you know what I mean? Iceman's an old man, I don't want to get him startled.
Yeah, especially after the draft.
Yeah, especially after the draft and what you guys ended up with. Looks like you guys will be rebuilding again this year. Now, hey, honestly though, I'll BS aside. I don't even know if I can say BS now. I feel like I've been
You've been censored, Dave.
I've been censored, yeah. I'm gonna say it. All bullshit aside.
All right.
And just hope that we're not suspended now. No, but all bullshit aside, man, you guys got a good quarterback, man. That kid Brock Purdy, he's amazing. He's an amazing fucking. And they got a new Mr. Irrelevant though. They picked up another.
Yeah,
Mr.
not them,
Relevant
not them. The league, they just drafted some cats
at quarterback.
Yeah, he was like the last pick in the 7th round.
Yeah. So anyway, about I'm all about the first Mr. Relevant, Brock Purdy. Nah, he's a story that I root for. You know, honestly, I want him to do good in the league. I would like him to take a Super Bowl home. You know, not at the expense of the Rams, but if we're not playing in the Super Bowl, I definitely want to see that dude shine.
Well, you won't have to worry about that because I don't see the Rams in any foreseeable recent, Super Bowls.
Yeah, right when you got on my good side, then
just when you started to like me again.
Yeah.
I was
moving past the freaking the pro clubs and the garter belt. All right, so but a big shout out to Iceman. You know, he's always a positive addition to his show, and he's somebody that hits us up sometimes on the GTL tablet. And I was just reading one of his older messages the other day. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I'm sure. We always send our love to the Iceman.
Since Jesse Nava can't go into descriptive visuals
details
about this 5-block concept or this honor building concept, I'm going to tell you what I see. Take away the people. The people aren't in the building yet. This place has been completely refurbished.
Real quick, the reason why we're discussing honor buildings right now is because they're working on making another honor building, which is our building.
Yeah, they're thinking about turning 3-block into an honor building.
And the only reason we didn't move to 5-block is because we weren't going to be the test dummy. I'm actually one of the ones that helped make the list for 5-block, but they wanted to split us up. We would have had to go over there and be single cell. And as much as everybody in prison all their life wishes, like that's one of the biggest things, privileges you can obtain in prison, but it's only actually usually done by punishment. Is single cell.
Yeah.
But when you actually have a cellie that you vibing with, and you actually have one of your friends as your cellies, you don't need to be single cell.
You can move around in the cell just fine, and just being in here with Jess, I'm comfortable with that. I don't even feel like I'm in prison in here, and so I wasn't too eager to leave one of my friends to go sit in a cell where I'm just gonna walk around in circles all day. I've spent years in solitary confinement. I spent years in the SHU. I had an indeterminate SHU before, and I spent plenty of time by myself. It's not something that I'm gonna voluntarily do unless it's absolutely necessary. Like if there's a bunch of scumbags around and they keep giving me weird sallies and stuff, set aside Jesse, the weird sallies.
I'm the only weird guy that he's allowed to deal with.
Yeah, other weird people.
Other than that, he's on his own.
Yeah, and so that's what we thought. We're like, you know what? Yeah, we have an opportunity. We meet all the criteria to go into the honor building, which is we're both in college. We're both taking multiple colleges. We're in in-person classes. We're both workers. Jesse right now, he's in between jobs because of a policy change, but he'll be back working again. And we're facilitators, mentors. We're involved with all the leagues out here, sports, everything. So
they actually paid me with David not to move out of this building.
Yeah, by moving me in. Yeah.
Yeah, my floor cop, because I had actually been single cell for a long time, and my floor cop was like, "Hey, I don't know why you're moving." I go, "What do you mean why?" Because I had been helping all the MAC get together and convince people to move to that building. Because anybody that's really done any time knows that you don't ever go into a building when it's just opening up and they're unrolling a new program, because there's going to be trial and error, and it's going to be at your expense. So, we had to go around and convince some guys, hey, look at this is what it's going to be, this is what it is, go check it out, and let me know how it turns out, you know what I mean? And if everything works out all right, then maybe I'll see you on the other side. But my floor staff were like, hey, man, where are you going? why are you going to move? You can stay by yourself right here, because that was one of the biggest sellers on the building, was being able to be single cell. And I told him, I go, I'm not leaving. What are you talking about? And he's like, no, well, you could stay by yourself. If they put somebody in there, just give me some time and I'll move them out or whatever. I said, no, I'm not worried about. I'm not leaving the building. First of all, second of all, I'm of the mind that if it isn't broke, you don't fix it. And my building's actually a great building. You got knuckleheads, you got whatever, but it's prison. I've learned to navigate that. And truth be told, it makes me look better. Because if you got all kinds of crazy shit going on around you, then the guys who aren't up to no good stick out, So the reality. So I told him, I said, look, I have a friend that just got here from Calipat. He's in 2-block. He hasn't been classified yet. How about this? I'm not even asking to stay by myself. I'm actually asking if you could bring him over here from 2-block into my cell, And he was like, absolutely, give me his name. I'll take care of it, And I'll do it tomorrow morning, And so they brought David, who wasn't even classified yet, and they actually brought him over to my cell and brought him into the cell. And usually they don't do no movements if you're not classified yet, they usually don't move you. They won't do nothing with you. You're stuck in your cell for 2 weeks.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I walked in wearing a pair of ostrich skin boots, knockoffs.
Yeah, knockoff options. I told him, hey, if you're going to come in here, you're going to need the real deal. Let's see what we can do.
That's when we started the fun.
But, yeah, so he came in here, and essentially it's been great. Everything's been awesome. But now they want to turn this building into an honor building because a bunch of the college guys are actually, truth be told, most like a large handful of the guys from San Diego State and Imperial Valley College that were doing the on-site college elected not to leave the building because it's such a good building.
Yeah, we like it here.
Yeah, and most of the guys had good fellies. Nobody wanted to just uproot their life and go start over and figure out what kind of weird cops were going to be working in the building, what kind of weird policies and things that were going to be. Because when you're in a building that they call an honor building, they pretty much know that you're on a no-tolerance contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they tend to nitpick at you. And that's what we've seen. We've seen some of that over there, but so now they're actually talking about doing the same thing in our building. You know, they asked us if we wanted to go single cell. They asked, you know, if we wanted to move and this and that, and we're like, nah, we're cool. You know, but what we want to do is we want to be able to bring the guys that we can verify are actual programmers. You know,
when you say programmers, just guys that they're not using drugs, they're not in gangs, they're not in any of those things. You know, I don't know if we can even say drugs and gangs anymore.
Look, I think your gang and drug life is over.
Can I see illicit narcotics? Is that street hoodlum?
I think Dave is super paranoid now, James. You got him scared straight.
Yeah, I just don't know.
We just got to be super precautious, you know, and I never even thought about that one. Yeah, gang is probably one that I should add to the TikTok ban list. I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, add that, yeah. So we're going to say street hoodlums.
Yeah.
3 or more
street
individuals. Yeah, street punks.
Yeah. Hey, yo, street punks.
Yeah. So, anyway, my vision of an honor building, set aside all the individuals. When you walk into the honor building, they're telling me, okay, Dave, you made it. You're coming into the honor building. I'm going in there. I'm not gonna. I feel like it's kind of it's nerve-wracking when you have the officers out front of the building, kind of like they're wanding you down. I've seen them getting wanded down the other day, like it's a level 4 180 yard. You know,
they don't want anybody.
They're wanding them down. They're going through all their stuff all crazy, and then they're going into the building. And right off the bat, man, that's an ugly feeling. Who likes to go up and get touched on, and you know them run they got these handheld metal detector wands that go over you, and it's kind of like a weird feeling that you see in the most dangerous yards. You know, I've been in yards where I had to literally leave the building in my boxers, and they're strip searching us before we get out to the yard. These are dangerous places. This is 180 level 4 main line. I've been 180 level 4 on this side, and that's a very high security yard where extreme violence happens damn near on a daily basis.
I don't have to take those precautionary measures.
Look into the word extreme violence, James. I feel like I might have triggered something. So you're triggering me right now. Yeah, you go into the building, and it's already kind of nerve-wracking. But when you walk into the building as it stands today, you're looking around, and guess what you see? You see the same setup that we have here. What do you see? You're gonna see these tables. I don't know if you have a picture, James, that you can show the viewers of an actual day room, a prison day room with those metal tables with the 4 seats around it. They're very uncomfortable. It's a standard design for most prisons. You have those tables, and then off to the right, like when you're walking in, you're going to see a podium right when you walk into the building. You're going to see the officers' podiums right there. On the left side, it looks identical to the right side. You walk in, you got about 5 tables over there on the left side of the day room. On the right side, you have 5 tables, and you go a little bit more. Like if you were to go around the corner, you're going to see these wooden benches, and these benches, they're uncomfortable. There's no back support. They're hardwood, and they're on metal posts. In front of those benches, you're going to have they got flat screen TVs up on the wall now. You'll see one on each side of the day room, and then you'll have the phones. Now there's only 2 phones, and the rest are their ports for the video calls. For Jesse and I, we do the video calls, so you see the ports. It looks identical in 5 Block. That's the honor building. There's nothing different. And You walk in, the cells are the same. The cells that building was empty all through COVID. 5 block, it was empty. So the first people that walked in that building walked into rust, dirt, and dust. The cells were terrible. Their
Plumbing was messed up.
Yeah, plumbing was messed up. The walls were all peeled. There was just hoorah written all over the walls. It was an ugly building to walk into. I opened up 4 block in Tehachapi, which is 180 level 4. I opened up B yard when they opened B yard and turned it in. They turned it from the shoe to a 180 level 4, and I was the first person in B section in 4 block, first cell. That cell was a mess, and they just had the shoe there. And the shoe, you got nothing better to do than clean your damn cell all day. So it got that dirty just in the period of time that it took to transition that.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Which wasn't very long. So you go in there, and a lot of those guys, they're wound tight. Yes, the difference of their program and ours is that they can be in the day room or the yard throughout the day. They don't have to choose. The way that Jesse and I live right now, we can only be at the yard with the top tier, and we can only be in the day room with the top tier, with our tier. That's it. So we have to switch. Like this morning, we had yard out there. We had yard out there in the morning. We came back in. We're in the cell. Then we had day room up until 3:30, and we're back in the cell again. And at night, we'll have yard again. So we get a lot of program here, but 5 block, they don't have to choose between yard or day room. They could be out on the yard all day if they want. And they could come in on the inline and get a shower. When we come in on the inline, we got to come back into the cell. We don't have the privilege of showering. We just bird bath. But that's really all they have. They have access to the yard whenever they want, really, because they're supposed to be paying mind to their college classes and to their work schedules, which we have also. We do it just fine with our college classes and work schedules, and we go pretty hard with college, Jesse and I. So that's it, though. They get single cell. They don't have cellies, but they can't have a lot of things in their cell. Like if you don't have a cellie, man, the top bunk is your shelf. The top bunk, you put everything up there. You use the top locker. There's 2 lockers, so what I usually did when I was single cell is the top locker was my like supply shelf. Like I had it full of stuff. I put pictures up there, little picture frames. The bunk up there, I had laundry up there folded. I had a cool little a little rug. We get little religious rugs that they sell us. So I had a rug thrown over the bunk, so it looked kind of nice. But there, we're being told that they have to make it look like there's only one person living in that cell.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
You can't have any visible things in the top locker. If it looks like the top locker's full, they can strip you down. And they even mention the box. How big is the box, Jess? What is it? 4x4. Yeah, they have this 4x4. Oh yeah, it's gonna cut off right now, James.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll give you a call back.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. And for Chubby Jessica and Eliasman, right now when they call back, I'll go ahead and make sure I ask them those questions. Chubby Jessica's asking, how did Jesse get a single cell? So he's not single celled right now. He actually has a cellie, and David is his cellie. I think what he was saying was that if they do go over to the honor block, which would be block 5, that unit or block, they're all single celled, so they're not required to take on a cellie, opposed to like where they're at right now.
This call is now being
Esta
recorded.
es Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello. All right. So
Yeah.
we actually got two questions in here for you. We got one from Chubby Jessica, and
All
the
right.
other one I have from El Iceman. The first one, she's asking, how did Jesse get a single cell? And then El Iceman is asking, does being single celled have an impact at the parole board?
That's not a bad question. I guess it would depend on why you're single cell.
Right.
You know.
Well, the reality is the only time you're going to really get a single cell, because like these guys in 5 Block, they're not actually classified as single cell. They're just giving them a cell by themselves until the prison fills up, and then ultimately they'd have to take a cellie. They're not classified as single cell individuals. But the reality is, in prison, the only way you're going to get single celled is by having in-cell violence with your cellie, or
Yeah.
some sort of misconduct. And so
A lot of guys have killed their cellies.
yeah,
They don't
killed
give
them
them
cellies, violent. You mean like stuff like that? The last time I was single cell was for in-cell violence on my cellie. But like other than that, so if you're single cell going to the board, it's usually probably not a good thing, because you got to remember they're making a decision on whether or not they should send you back to society, to function amongst all walks of life. And if you can't handle living with one other individual in a controlled environment like prison, they're not going to be as inclined to put their trust in you functioning out here in a society, in a world of people who don't function on the same beliefs or the same distorted perspectives that a lot of people in prison tend to.
Yeah.
And so and I don't want to take nothing away, because I'll give you an example. Silas has been single cell for a long time because of same thing for a lot of, for incel violence. But he's been clean for so long and he's been doing the right thing, but sometimes they just get to a place where they don't want to clear you.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
The reality of it is we get so comfortable in being in a cell by ourselves that we're not pushing to get a cellie a lot of the time, because again, that's a luxury in prison. If you can live by yourself in prison without having to cram two people and all their property into one of these small cells, it's a luxury. So Silas hasn't pushed to get his double cell cleared, but the reality is they could use that against him if they wanted to. But because he's done good for so long, I don't think it's an issue. They may ask him, well, hey, how come you haven't pushed to get your single cell? I know the staff aren't in no hurry to get him single cell cleared, double cell cleared, because of his extensive violence in the past, which is a long time ago. However, he showed them that he's definitely willing to resort to violence on, numerous occasions with,
And it's encouraged that you cell up with somebody who's not your race.
right.
Yeah.
Racially eligible.
Yeah. Like me, I can cell up with anybody from different races. What is the thing that I forgot what it's called? It's called racial.
Yeah, it's racial eligibility. Racial eligibility.
What the hell happened to you right now?
Yeah, racial eligibility.
Eligibility.
Yeah, excuse me. Break. Spit that shit out,
To
big
get
boy.
that hooked on phonics for you. Get you situated again.
Yeah, what the hell is going on
Yeah,
here?
when's the last time you said anything?
So racial eligibility, right?
Go ahead. I think you should answer Chubby Jessica's question too.
Yeah, take a lap while I'm at it. Think about what I just did. You know what I mean? No. So they have this thing when they classify you. If you haven't been involved in racial riots in a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
and you haven't your controlling case doesn't have any racially motivated crime involved in it, they classify you as racially eligible. And if you have been involved in a race riot, like within, I think it's like the last 5 years, I think, excuse me, they won't clear you. They won't clear you to live with another race. And technically, the policy in CDC are from general population to SNY, it doesn't matter. They're supposed to be interracially bunking. But on the main line, they don't enforce it.
Well, I'm extremely mixed, so you're checking off most boxes.
I definitely got the jihadi box going right now.
Then I don't think you can use that word.
Oh, okay.
Especially with all the stuff going on in school right now, in schools and stuff. Yeah, so you're definitely canceled.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jesse was single cell, because I'm gonna have to explain this while he goes over his vowels.
Racial eligibility.
Yeah. So Jesse had a cellie. Good dude. Had a cellie for a long time. Well, he went up to Tehachapi to the OMCP mental program.
To CMC.
CMC. Oh yeah, that's right. There's another one in Tehachapi. There's one in CMC. So he went to CMC. Jesse was supposed to stay single cell for as long as possible. They don't generally bunk you kind of quick if you just had a cellie leave. R&R, which is the people that are in charge of bringing in new guys that from other institutions, R&R will look when a person arrives. They'll look and see what cells are open, and they'll put the guy in that cell. Well, Jesse was lucky that he didn't get a guy off of the bus, and he was able to stay single cell for as long as he did.
You should. Well, the thing is, because people that work in R&R or work on our building,
Yeah.
and if your building staff are cool with you, you know what I mean. They know that you're trying to be by yourself.
You're not going to be up first.
Yeah, you're not going to be up to bat first. They're not going to, you know, they'll usually put. And even if you do catch somebody off the bus, you can just go and tell them, hey, I got plans already, and you go tell the staff, and the staff will. If you got it like that, if not, they'll say, hey, man, this isn't the Marriott. You know what I mean? This isn't Motel 6.
This is what it is. You're going to get a cellie, and that's what it is.
Yeah, but because they, for the most part, these staff here don't want me. Like if I was to get a cellie that messes with drugs or a cellie that's still gangbanging or whatever, you know, I would tell them, hey, you can't stay in here. You know what I mean? Like, you know, no disrespect to you, but this is what's going on here. I can't tell you how to do your time, but I can tell you how you're going to do your time in your cell. You know, and
just make sure Chubby Jessica understands that if she was to come to R&R, she's not gonna. I'm not doing a cell change with her. I'm just letting you know right now.
You're not getting Dave's bed space.
You're not getting my bunk, you know. That's all it is. I'm just putting it out there to the universe.
All right. Yeah. So
you look like the kind of person. You sound like the kind of person that will make your way into R&R somehow.
Somehow, some way, she's there on a tour.
Yeah.
She's there on a tour.
Yeah. I would like to feel like I'm in prison, like really in prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Take me to a scared straight program.
Yeah, she's gonna say I would like.
Yeah, I would like
in the Valley Girl voice.
Yeah.
No, all right. So we got to get back. Okay. Let's get back to the honor building thing.
That was the first question?
That was both questions. I answered.
No, that was both of her questions. Did you have another question, James, from somebody else?
So now I do. I have a question from Casey_fan1. She writes, Can you ask if 5 block is if there's a 5 block in C yard?
Yeah. Right. Every yard's got a 5 block.
Yeah, there's a 5 block. I used to live in that building on C yard, actually, right here. But it's not an honor building. It's not a.
Honor building. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Honor building concept of 5 block.
Yeah, no.
What would it be over there? 1 block, or was it 5 block over there too?
No, they have 5 block. They don't have no honor building over there. They never had.
They never put it up because I know they put one up on A or B yard, right?
Yeah. B yard, yeah.
Was it in 5 block over there?
No, it's 4 block.
Oh, 4 block.
Yeah. But because it used to be the staff building. But yeah, no, C yard doesn't have an honor building. They do have a 5 block. I actually lived in that building for a long time, and
It's a whole different beast over there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, CR's a different, it's a different concept altogether.
Yeah.
But all right, so
might be a good place to put an honor building there because it might get some guys over there who are living and feeling hopeless some incentive, you know.
I just don't see how it would work.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be guys that are.
Yeah, there was no building that was going to incentivize me to do the right thing when I was living there.
No,
I made 5 block the honor building.
Yeah, in a different aspect.
Yeah. Straight up, that was a 5 block when I was there. That was a straight trap house. Like literally, anybody will tell you that anybody that was with me on that yard when I was on that yard for a couple of years I was there, they'll tell you 5 block was turned up. You know what I mean? Because everybody, all the boss hogs were in that building.
Oh yeah. So let me tell you about 5 block over here. This is what I would see.
What it looks like.
Yeah, this is what I see when I walk in there as Dave the honor guy, right? See the yard opens, you guys walk in the building. No issues with staff. No crazy shakedowns. Just guys walk in the building. You walk in the building, and the first thing you see, you're going to see the podium right there, but you're not going to see 2 like high alert officers behind the podium. It's going to be more like a welcome environment. You might see the officers interacting with people in the day room, up out of the chair, over there talking to some people on different sides of the day room, interacting with the people that are in their community, guys that are involving themselves in the population. I'm not saying handshakes and hugs and all that other good stuff yet. I'm not saying none of that stuff. I'm just saying being pro-social with the community that they're in charge of. They can get, I see an officer at one table, maybe another guy watching somebody draw or maybe like overseeing a card game or something. Maybe another guy over there talking self-help and rehabilitation with another guy. Maybe one of them at a table helping, giving his 2 cents on homework and stuff that they're working on. Guys that are actually living in the community, interacting with people who are going to potentially be their neighbors sooner than later with the way CDCR is doing things. But I see that. Now the tables, the metal tables, I don't see those there at all. I see tables that are more wooden, possibly like the visiting tables. There's tables that are out there in visiting, kind of like a bigger table. The color's not so gray and dreary, it's not like reflecting like a mirror. But I see actual tables with chairs around them. Now, they have these chairs that are institutional safe chairs. They're bigger. They're a bigger chair. They look like little love seats, I guess. But they're made out of plastic, or they're like a rubber plastic material, pretty thick. But they dip in and they have back support. So I see chairs like that around these tables. Guys that are actually there working on their laptops, just like we do here. But people that are kind of just lounging out, hanging out, doing their schoolwork. The benches are gone as well. The brown benches, they're gone. I see more of those chairs in that area. We're not asking for couches or anything like that. In some institutions, I think in Tehachapi, I heard that they're putting couches in there. Something that could be easily cleaned because there's going to be a lot of people using them. But I see that there also. Maybe even video game consoles out there. The cell doors. I don't see the cell doors closed except for count times. I see them just cracked. They're just there. We control our doors. I don't know if you guys heard us close our door earlier because they released for dinner. And we stayed in from dinner so we can hang out with you guys. But I see the doors being open throughout the day. If you want to come in your cell, come in your cell. If it's not a radical concept.
No.
I don't know if you can use the word radical.
Yeah. This is supposed to be the building with the most responsible individuals on the yard.
This is. And they're screened into the building.
Right.
It's a responsible building. During count time, make the announcement. 11 o'clock they do their close custody count. But I don't even think they should have close custodies in there. It depends. If you're close custody, you have to be 115 free for a year to be off close custody. That's it. I came in for second degree. I don't know. I can't say that word, so we're going to say daisy pushing. Second degree daisy pushing, right? And
that's second degree dirt naps.
Yeah. So when you come in, you give them a year clean. They'll take you off close custody, which means you have more privileges and more access to the yard. There shouldn't even be close custodies in there. Why would they be close custody in 5 block?
Right.
When they're taking you off of close custody as soon as you go to committee if you're clean for a year. So you're telling me that the guys that are in there are not clean for a year? There should be no close custody concept in that building.
Yeah.
Those doors shouldn't close until 4:30 count.
Yeah.
Or 4 o'clock count. Go in there,
4:30.
close the door, 4:30 count, and guess what? It's dinner time. If you want to go to dinner, go to dinner. If not, don't. They'll say, hey, 5 blocks open for dinner. Everybody go. Go to the chow hall. But that building should be run a little bit different. Those guys are supposed to be responsible college students and people with good jobs. If there's guys that don't get that concept, then guess what? Put them in a place until they figure it out. If they're sweating guys over small infractions in those cells. These are guys that are not using drugs. These are guys that are not fighting. These are guys that are they're not.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
They're not doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. They're living their life, but they can't paint their cells that are covered in rust because if they do, they could get kicked out of that building and written up. It doesn't make any sense. It seems like you're walking on eggshells in there.
Absolutely.
That's what I see an honor building looking like.
Yeah, an honor building should be able to run itself. Absolutely.
I'm gonna give you a call back right now, James.
All right, and I got a few more questions for you guys.
Cool.
All right. All right. So right now, when they go ahead and call back, we'll go ahead and read off those questions, and I'll get on with it. Unfortunately, these calls are only 15 minutes long. Garbage Tail Link is definitely dropping the ball on that. They're definitely missing an opportunity right here to keep these calls going longer without any interruption. If they would just remove that 15-minute limit, which doesn't make any sense. I would understand if they keep the limits on the phones on the walls, but these phones, they're on the tablet.
This call
Este
is
es
now being
Global
recorded.
Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
James.
Hello, hello. Okay, so first question's up is going to be from El Iceman. He writes, who had a better batting average and more homers between the two during softball season?
Oh, Dave, definitely. Dave's a home run hitter.
I was trying to be modest.
Yeah, Dave definitely. I'm a base hitter. I'm gonna get on base every time. But Dave definitely he smacks them. He's technically a base hitter too, but he gets them home runs there. He smacks them hella hard and hella high, but he only makes it to first base because people get the motherfuckers.
Yeah, they get there pretty fast, you know.
Yeah, but if he gets by you, you're done.
I'll knock it out to the dirt.
Yeah, he's gonna knock it out to the dirt, and you're assed out. But everybody knows that he's a hitter like that, so they're waiting for him out there. So he can't hit him out there. You can't really hit him like that. Me, I just try to keep him. I get him past the diamond in that little hole between the outfield and the diamond because it's softball. You know what I mean? If you put it up too high, they're gonna catch it. If you put it too low, if you put it too close, it's a slow ball. So you're not gonna be able to beat the ball to base. You got to get that perfect little hole between shortstop and
I'm a slippery individual when it comes to batting. I grew up playing baseball since I was a kid. I played t-ball when I was probably 5. Grew up playing it until I went in the system. I played in the system a little bit for high school teams that we had when I was in boys' homes, and I can put that ball anywhere on that field I want to. So there's a lot of guys that they shift around to try to figure out where I'm gonna hit it, but they leave a gap, and I'm taking it.
Yeah, because he's a lefty. He's a lefty, so they always expect him to hit it to right field like most lefties. And now he's got everybody all panicked right here because they know that he can place hit because he could chase the ball, so he can step out past the plate and hit it off into left field when the whole outfield shifts over to the right.
I hit a homer over somebody out there the other day.
Yeah, and the dude that he hit the homer on, like this dude's a superstar. He hits, he catches, like you're not going to get a ball over this cat, but because they shifted, on Dave, and he's like, you know what? There's nowhere I can hit it because they're waiting for him. You know what I mean? They're going to play him out.
Yep.
And so he's not really a hole hitter. He's a outfield hitter. So they shifted the field on him, and he ended up going out to left field.
And the hard way, put it right over his head and homer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no fence here, so we have home run lines like out to the dirt. Yeah, where the soccer field's at. And if you hit the dirt in the soccer field, it's pretty far. We did a home run derby here. So the home run was 290 feet. Yeah, 290 feet is an actual home run. So we have some string that they made that measures that distance. So I can put it out past 290, but it's a far hit. It's a far hit to do it, but that's just what we do. It's actually fun. Softball's fun. I grew up playing hardball overhand, and I was kind of skeptical about softball if I was going to have that much fun, and it's absolutely fun.
Because you got to play a different game for softball.
Yeah.
It's a different game because that ball, it's a lot slower. You know what I mean? So you gotta be crafty with your base run. You got to be crafty with your hit because like we just said about the home runs. You know what I mean? Like the reality is, if they know you're a home run hitter, they're going to be waiting for you every time.
Yeah, they'll be out there. They'll be way past out the track waiting. They'll be at 290 waiting for you.
290 waiting for you, And a lot of the home run hitters will, be gunning for the home run and pop it up.
They'll put it right in their glove, man.
Yeah, put it in their glove. It's almost a guaranteed out. If it's not a home run, it's an out every time. So it's usually going to be an out more than it is a home run.
Frustrating. Right now, we're on a 3-game winning streak right now.
We actually just took first place.
Yep.
So we're tied technically. No. We took first today.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
The guys who were in first place actually lost today to the guys who were in last place. And so,
Our softball team is called the Regulators.
We're the Regulators. Just so you know, Iceman.
Regulators,
get your team together.
mount up.
Mount up.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you just got us kicked off YouTube.
We got a whole little logo and everything. Our logo, we got the thickest logo out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you could say mount up.
That'll be all bad.
Yeah, there will be no regulating of the kind.
Done. Yeah. Yeah, no regulating, nothing to see here, folks.
Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. Take it in. Everybody go.
Right,
so what was your next question, James?
All right, and actually, you know what? We just got Veronica G. Happy Sunday to all. All hope everyone is having a blessed weekend. And then the next question, well, actually, is a comment. We got Chubby Jessica. She writes, "I know what a trap house is, but at least the name trap house is transparent." And then Casey underscore fan 1, she writes, "Cause they asked if my dude was in 5 block. I don't know. My pen pal is in C yard. I don't have a dude." Laughing out loud.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
All right.
So
Fair
she's
enough.
single, ready to
Veronica
mingle.
Veronica G, we say hello.
Yeah.
Happy Sunday. Welcome to our show.
Yeah, welcome to the channel.
Jesse,
Oh.
I just gotta warn you right now. Jesse is a maniac.
Hey, and actually.
Yeah.
Actually, Veronica G is actually Miss Vero, and she writes, "Hi, yeah, since we got
559.
we got 86th over there off the TikTok. She jumped over to YouTube."
Hey, we appreciate you, honestly. It was we were heartbroken when we found out that we got 86 from TikTok. I was gonna start doing floss videos, and I was gonna sample seasonings.
Yeah, I thought we were actually making some forward progress, and then they went ahead and blocked on.
Jesse and I were working on our Gunthem style dance.
It looked more like the Carlton, but hey, you know it works.
Elaine Bennett.
Yeah. But that's cool. Thanks for
that's cool, man, for
coming over to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, cruising over with us.
Hey, and
So what's up?
I'm gonna have to do the interception right now. They just slid one in right now. Tanya writes, "What's your opinion on prison relationships?" And Veronica G. So normal on TikTok. James, yeah, we'll be back next week. We'll be back just in time for Cinco de Mayo's prison celebrations. They're gonna lift the ban, I think, like on the 3rd, but we'll definitely be ready by Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, we're just suspended. We're not expelled.
Yeah. We're gonna try to hopefully be ready for you, James, so we can go back on like either that Wednesday or that Thursday.
Yeah.
If you're available, try to open it back up.
Yep.
The question on prison relationships is actually good. We've talked about these things before, prison relationships, but I know these are new listeners. Look, it's tricky. It's not a one size fits all situation. So I'm in a relationship. I'm married. I love my wife. My wife and I we call it NWI, which is met while incarcerated. I know my wife from before I came to prison, and we were together out there also. So it's hard for me to put myself in the shoes of somebody who met their loved one or significant other, in prison or through a pen pal service, through Writer Prisoner. What I've seen a lot of dating. I guess that would be the best way that I can put it. I don't see too many players. I see more like a lot of dating going on. I see guys I know a lot of guys here that are good guys. My neighbor, he's a good guy. Alex over there in 5 block, he's a good guy. There's a lot of guys they're good freaking dudes. You can tell. And they've been in since they were kids. A lot of these guys have been in prison since they were 18 years old. some 17, some, there's guys that are here since they were 14, 15, and they've been in for 20 plus years, 30 years, and these guys never had an opportunity to really experience love outside of these walls. Jesse's been in since 21 years old. Jesse came in, and yeah, he has kids. He was in relationships out there before he came in, but he came in young. He's a young guy. Now he's older, and he's Jesse.
And I had just gotten out after doing a few years in my
Yeah. Jesse was in the juvenile system, so these guys, I feel, are just as deserving of love than anybody else out there. You're gonna hit or miss with guys in prison. You're gonna find some that are really good guys, and you're gonna find some scumbags. I feel bad for the women out there that get played by dudes in here, and they run into scumbags. They run into dudes that are still involved with things, because they're never gonna really get to experience a good individual or find what they're looking for, and they might even be discouraged and not give a good guy a chance. And so prison relationships are tricky because, look, you're not out there. There's a lot of trust involved. These tablets, they help a lot. But what I do to make sure my relationship is successful is that I listen to my wife. We try to communicate about everything. Look, we disagree on some things, but we're both open to doing what we have to do to keep our relationship strong. One thing that I stopped doing in here was drugs. I stopped getting myself involved with violence, and I'm educating myself because I'm making myself the best possible person to come out to my wife, because that's not who left her out there. Out there, I was a scumbag, man. I was out there doing things I shouldn't have been doing. So I didn't burn my bridges with my wife out there. I didn't do nothing like disrespectful to her.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
But my lifestyle was doing no favors to her. So I make sure that we have the privileges that, like, I don't do anything that can cost me my visits. I do get family visits, which is conjugal visits. I get those. I make sure that I don't do nothing that, to mess that up. I make sure that I'm not interacting with females and stuff unless it's in a business sense, or and those are things that I do to respect her. And there's a lot of guys in here that would do the same thing. It all depends who you get, really. Who hooks you up or whatnot. What do you think, Jess?
Yeah, I think you pretty much, summed it up, for the most part. It all, like you said, you can't swim through the gutter and expect to find roses, you know what I mean? So it just depends where you get it, we got to remember, a lot of us in here, we're very dysfunctional most of our life.
Oh, yeah, expect that for sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Including myself.
Yeah, exactly. Unhealthy, a lot of insecurities, a lot of, self-destructive behavior, things like that. So for those of us that have been in recovery and have transformed our life and changed, there's still a lot of things that we have to work on. We don't know what they are until we're actually put to those tests. And sometimes relationships can be one of those tests, we know how to deal with the relationships in here, friendships and interacting with staff and interacting with cops and altering our perspective in those kind of relationships. So sometimes intimate relationships could be, a whole nother monster. So I think you're right, and there's definitely good dudes in here. There's definitely bad people in here, and I'll be the first to say that I used to be one of those bad dudes. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I didn't care about. I couldn't even say that I cared about myself, let alone anybody else.
No, yeah.
That's just the reality, and my life choices have spoken to that. But I believe that that's not the case anymore today. I believe that I'm a good person. I'm worthy of love. I love myself. I love those in my life. Things like that. And it's but again, dealing with the relationship, like you said, there's trust. For somebody who's had a pretty destructive and dysfunctional life and been betrayed by some of the people who are supposed to love them the most, trust becomes a hard thing.
It's hard.
And so in a relationship, it requires, at least for me, I believe, if I'm speaking honestly, it takes a lot of affirmation, a lot of reinforcement, because it's like most of my life I lived, with that effort mentality, because I've been betrayed by a lot of people since I was a child. You know what I mean? By my parents.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
So even though I always acted as though I was a very confident and cocky individual, I know now that was a mask, you know what I mean, to mask insecurities, and now I'm able to identify those and I'm able to dispute them, but to say, and that's what you're going to get with a lot of people in here, you know what I mean, and it's a trip, because now I can see that. You never would have been able to get me to say that or admit that before, because that's just, a man doesn't do that. A man can't admit that he's insecure or thinks that, he may be inadequate in this sense or that sense, but you got to be honest with yourself.
You got to be honest. Honesty is a huge thing. Yeah. Oh, we're going to give you a call back right now, James. It's going to cut off.
Okay. All right. Okay, so back to that whole the TikTok thing. Yeah, we were on last on Friday, and things just went left. We're doing good. We're on fire. Till the chat started going bananas, and it didn't turn out too good for us. They ended up pulling the plug and put us up in a little timeout for like a week or so. So once that ban gets lifted, then we'll go ahead and go back, and hopefully we're able to navigate those waters a little bit more cautiously.
This call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
James?
Yeah, so let me read out some of these comments to you right here on the chat. So Veronica G, she puts agree 1000%. There, let me see. Hold on. All right, and then let me see. Tanya writes a lot of respect to your wife for staying by your side, and then also
I appreciate that. She's an amazing woman. Changed my life. Go ahead.
and then also let me see right here. Tanya writes, I have always said the same. It's just a lot of people are judgmental about prison relationships. Everyone assumes someone is being used.
No, you're right. And the thing is, look, you have to, if you're going to get yourself into a relationship in prison, or if you're in a relationship with prison, it's never too late to establish boundaries if you haven't done so already. You have to establish boundaries. You have to let people know right off the bat what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do, for one. What you want out of the relationship. If you want friendship, if you want a pen pal, if you're still dating other individuals, people want to know.
Got to be clear about
it. Got to be clear. Like Jesse mentioned earlier, look, you're dealing with a lot of guys in here with enormous trauma. I have it, Jesse has it, and my wife, we've been successful because she understands that. She's patient with me. I might piss her off from time to time, but she understands that we're coming from a place of a lot of pain, a lot of dysfunction with our histories. I got into my history as far as juvenile hall. I didn't go beyond that as far as my childhood and whatnot. I talked about a few things, but I left things out. I left a lot of stuff out because at the end of the day, it's really nobody's business. But when I go to board and I have to talk to people, I got to talk to the board, I got to talk to the psychs and stuff like that. I'm very open about the things that I went through that led to a lot of the distrust that I do have in my life today. But people that are coming into relationships with individuals such as myself, they have to understand that we appreciate people being straight up with us. If you're contacting somebody, through the GTL tablet, through Write a Prisoner, through TikTok, and you contact them, understand that you're contacting a person that is cut off from the world. Period. They have no interaction with the outside world other than family and whoever's dropping down on their tablet. So right off the bat, these people they're gonna think, okay, well, you want them for something. It could be a physical relationship. It could be something that's like a phone sex. It could be it could be like a friendship. But you got to be straight up with these people. You got to be straight up with the guys that you're contacting. Look, I'm here because I want to give somebody in prison an opportunity to feel love. I'm willing to try,
whether it's platonic,
or not, but be straight up with them, because these guys are coming. These guys probably ain't gotten none in a long time. So you're popping up on the tablet, and that's the first thing they're going to think of. If you're over there on, not saying you guys that are asking this question, but if there's women that are right off the bat, they're sending them videos and pictures, like booty pictures and stuff like that. That's how they're going to treat you. I'm not saying that in the future, if that's whatever you guys experience together, that's between you guys. But I'm just saying right off the bat, if that's how you present yourself, that's how they're going to treat you. If you come up as just another person looking for your place in the world, we're going to understand that in here also.
Yeah.
But you get what you pay for.
And like how Tanya said, a lot of people out there don't understand. Be mindful of this too. I've seen people, experience relationships in here in prison where, truth be told, there's happiness in relationships in prison, but some relationships, marriages that have lasted 20, 30 years out there will never have. Exactly. And so don't let anybody take anything away from a relationship while in custody, because despite the individual being able to be there physically every day, there's emotional connections. There's things that have taken place, in the relationship. There's stronger relationships sometimes because these relationships are purely emotional. They're not as physical. Yes, you get visits. Yes, you may be able to get family visits. Yes, but the connections and relationships
very,
like this,
very deep emotionally.
Yeah, they're way deeper than some of the relationships you'll ever see out there in the streets, in society. And so don't let anybody take anything away from that, because that's the reality of it, and so I've seen relationships where people get out and they work, and I've seen relationships where they don't work. It just matters how bad do you want what you waited for, how bad,
And remove the label. I wouldn't consider it a prison relationship, because that's going to keep it boxed in.
Right.
You could be in a relationship with somebody that's incarcerated, but as far as saying, okay, well, I'm in a prison relationship, no, you're in an actual relationship.
Right.
Because the guys that are in here don't look at it that way. They look at it like, you're my significant other, you're my spouse. This isn't a prison relationship.
Right.
This is my future, and
you don't get to change the dynamic simply because I'm not there.
Exactly. So there's the same things that you're going to want in any relationship that you're going to want. Yeah, whether the person's incarcerated or not, you're going to want that. You're going to want that love. You're going to want that, and it's not. Yeah, you're going to want that affection. You're going to want that trust, and you're going to just want. Yeah, guys in here just want somebody to know that they're there for them. When I get off of the podcast and I call and I talk to my wife, I love hearing her say, "Hey, you were talking like you were freaking, on meth because you guys were moving super fast," or you guys did a good show. Maybe you guys could do, consider this in the future, or just be there just to tell me that, that she loves me, and that goes a long way.
That mental and emotional support.
That's
goes
it,
a long
man.
way.
Hey, I love you. You did a good job tonight. Tell Jesse to take off the garter belt, and we move. We go
You're
about.
not getting your garter belt back.
We go about our business, but that's just what a relationship is. But it's very difficult to be with somebody for the long term. Jesse and I were considered lifers, only because of the sentence that we have. I have 40 to life. Jesse had 25 to life, and he's going to board pretty soon. But we still have that life sentence on us. It's very hard to love somebody that could die in prison. It's difficult. It's hard for our significant other. And my wife had told me before. She said, "Well, it's hard to be, it's hard to be in a relationship."
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
It's hard sometimes, and I wasn't comprehending it, because I was thinking, well, what's hard? Like I try to be everything that you need me to be. She says, yeah, but no, it's hard for me to know that the love of my life is not with me every night. that's a hard feeling to go to bed without my spouse, my husband. And so I had to consider that because, yes, it's hard for me to go to sleep without my wife also, but I've become so desensitized to being incarcerated that when I jump up in the bed, I just turn my head towards the wall and I'm done. I'm out. I try not to give anything too much thought because it'll
eat you alive.
It'll eat me alive. I'm looking around and I try not to look. We can live in the cell without really acknowledging that we're in a small cage. We're in a cage right now. Jesse and we're cellies. We're both in the same cell right now. I can reach out and I can touch both walls with my hands. We're in a small space. And that's something that'll eat us alive if we really look into it too much. That I look up and I see concrete all around. I'm in a rectangle and the door ain't open. The door's locked. I look out and I see an empty day room. I look out to the window and I see just desert, fences, barbed wire, and there's a sign. There's an electric fence outside my window. That's how trapped that we feel, so we try not to pay attention to that. So when my wife told me that, I'm thinking, well, in my head, I'm thinking, well, how
hard could it be for you? You're out there in the world of all kinds of freedom and liberties.
Yep.
But it's an emotional prison.
It's an emotional prison because they share this with us.
Yep.
My family's locked up. My family got sentenced when I got sentenced. I look back when I got my life sentence, and I had already accepted that I was going to get a life sentence. I knew what I was here for. I knew what I got.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I was prepared to get life that day. When I looked back and they were reading me, to me, they were just reading words off a piece of paper. The judge wasn't too hard on me. He didn't call me a despicable human being. He didn't do none of that. The judge was just straightforward. Hey, I'm sentencing you to 15 to life for second degree. Second degree is a homicide. I don't know if I can use that word. And then he gave me another 25 to life consecutive sentence for using a firearm. And when I heard those words, I did the math, and I thought, damn, well, he gave me 2 other years also, so I initially had 42 years to life sentence. So when I'm hearing that, I'm just like whatever, this is like I already knew that this was going to happen because
you're already thinking you're not giving me anything that I haven't earned.
Yeah, I earned this. Like I know what it is. Like I'm not even
my sentence. I gave it to you.
Yeah, I had a defiant look on my face. I had total disregard for anybody, including myself. I didn't care. They said it what they said. All right, well, go ahead and send me home now.
Yeah, hurry up so I can get back to the tank and get drunk.
Yep, that's it. So, but when I look back, my mom and my sister and my family, like, they were crying. Yeah. They had, and it wasn't they were crying. I seen my sister's eyes, and she had her eyes were really red, and, I could tell, they were in a lot of pain. And they had just got sentenced to life themselves. And in a lot of ways, they were looking at my death. And I didn't look at it like that. And I turned around and I smiled, I smiled at them and I winked at them.
Try to give them the impression of something else.
Yeah, and they looked at me like I was freaking crazy. And I was like, look, so I didn't really know what else to say other than just, I got to take it like a man. This is the life that I was living. This is what I always expected to happen because I thought so little about myself. This is what it was. I had looked at it like I graduated.
And back then, too, you got to remember, we wore these sentences as badges of honor.
Yeah.
You walk around and hear, what's the homie busted for? Oh, that's right.
Oh, he's here on a hot one.
Yeah, you got all day. How long you been busted? Oh, I've been down 20 years. Oh, I've been down 50. The bigger your number gets, the more pride people walked around in here. And it's just crazy when I look back at it, how distorted our perspective of reality is. That's crazy. That's crazy to sit here and think that, when I had life without, how much time you got? I got LWAP. In other words, there's no get back for me. So if you think you bad, I'm a lot more hopeless than you can try me.
Yeah, and if you get in a relationship also with somebody like us, you have to make sure that we're even capable of some understanding and some empathy, because not a lot of people are in here. This place, I'm telling you, it traps us mentally, it traps us emotionally,
And we were hopeless to begin with,
Yeah.
which is why it was so easy to make a horrible choice, like throwing our life away to begin with.
We see somebody
taking another's life.
We see somebody die in the yard, and we watch it. We kind of just look to the side, like, man, you know, that sucks to be him, you know. And that's the mentality in a lot of ways when you're not understanding, you know, the consequences of your actions. You're not willing to take responsibility. So just be very careful. The people that you're with or that you get into a relationship with, just make sure that they're even capable of showing that type of empathy.
Well, a lot of things too. Like I know for me, I still struggle with it today. You know, from time, you know, because I was such an aggressive person for so long. You know what I mean? I was such an impulsive person for so long. You know, I had such power and control issues for years. And you got to remember, we live in a den of testosterone. You know, this place.
Yeah.
Is a synergy center for testosterone. Prison is all about, you know, just basically who can let their nuts hang the lowest. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Who's harder?
Who's harder? Who's toughest? Who's the baddest? And you know, Dave will tell you, and you know what I mean, like the reality is, like, for years and years and years, I made it my journey to work my way up the ladder of testosterone.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
To try to assert myself in the best way possible in the hierarchy of toxic masculinity.
We wanted to be the worst of the worst in this place.
Right. You know, and so and you did that through violence, you did that through aggression, you did that through power and control and assertion. And so so now that I'm in a different place in my life, you know, sometimes I tend to struggle still with certain levels of aggression. Communicating, before it's like, okay, if I didn't know how to communicate myself and emotions and abstract concepts weren't something I could communicate. It was black and it was white. This is what it is. What I say goes, you know. And so we'll call you back now.
Yeah, we're going to give you a call back right now, James.
Yeah.
Not K,
Hello. All right, so they should be calling back shortly. I got my daughter in here. My daughter just came in. She always likes to, you know, come in here into the office here and there and show me some of her art. She does. She likes to draw and stuff like that. So she'll normally come in and have me take a look at her drawings. And I'm sure you guys caught a little glimpse of her, you know, speaking right now, giving me a piece of her mind. Dice Keo. Keo. ¿Dónde?
This call is now being recorded.
Este es Global Telling.
Tonby.
Usted tiene una llamada
Tonby.
propagada de
David.
Tonby.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right. So let me read some of the comments on here for you guys. We had one from Veronica G. She writes, as long as you keep the open communication and understand each other and trust, that's huge, and respect.
That's it. I agree. You said it perfectly.
Yeah. And then KC _ fan 1 writes, I supported my ex for 5 years. When he was released, he left me. But I know there's good ones in there because if what he did isn't going to keep me from communicating with someone else in prison.
No, and it shouldn't. You know, you have good relationships, you do have bad relationships, and there are red flags that you could pay attention to. There are warning signs. I think drugs are a huge one. If you're with somebody in prison and they're hitting you up for PayPals and Zales and Green Dots and all those other crazy things, you know, they're probably doing things they're not supposed to be doing. You know, you could tell if it's for something like, you could tell if it's for something, you know, like I don't know, like here and there, you know, if they hit you up and like, hey, what's up, can you help me out with this, and, you know, whatnot. But they're not doing anything to better themselves. They're not trying to hustle in here. But there's legal ways to hustle. You can make taffy, you can make cookie wheels, and you can draw, there's always something that you can do. But if somebody they like having like the nicer things, or you send them money for nicer things and you come to visit them and they still look all scruffy, they look all weirded out, like if they don't got no, you send them money for some J's, send them money for some Jordans, but they're running around with some yard dogs. You're gonna, it's probably they probably spent it on something they're not supposed to. So those guys right there, they're gonna get out and they're gonna go back to what they were doing. If they're involved with gang ideology, criminal behavior in here, and they don't correct that behavior before they're released, if they're short timers, I can guarantee you they're going to be right back. I can almost put 100% guarantee on it. They're not going to make it, and it doesn't mean that they didn't feel for you genuine feelings at the time. It just means that they haven't worked out the issues that brought them to prison in the first place. So not only are they going to leave you when they get out, but they're going to leave society soon after because they're going to come right back, and they're going to be doing the same thing. So just make sure if you're in a relationship with somebody in here, just make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing in here to come home. And you'll know the difference right away. If they're going to the hole, if they're still getting like fresh tattoos or getting them on their face, their neck and stuff like that, like fresh ones, they're not gonna succeed out there.
If they're not making genuine plans for their
tell.
success when they get out, probably a pretty good chance that they're not making any real plans to do anything other than what they've been doing.
Yep.
That's just the truth about it. You could tell in the person's conversation, like I said before, our families are the ones who feel this the most, just like they're the first ones to see the change in us because they know what it is. Okay, you know what? I see something totally different in you, and I see what's going on. Where before it's like, hey, what's up with the homie? What's the homie doing out there? Hey, I'm calling up this ratchet, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. Instead, now it's like, hey, I got to call my boy out there and check on this job. I got to see what's up with this transitional housing. I got to, you're going to start, you'll notice the conversation's different. Like, hey, instead of asking, hey, can I get this PayPal? Hey, can you do me a favor and go on Amazon and see what this book costs and try to get this college book? You'll see what's going on in their programming behaviors, and you'll know whether or not they're preparing themselves to be a better person. That's what I was telling you before the call.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Sometimes you can tell through their ability to empathize with you. For me, for a long time, I couldn't feel what anybody else felt. I really didn't care what other people were going through. It was all about what I had going on, and that was it. And even now, today, like I said, I'm in a totally better place. But sometimes, I can still be aggressive from time to time.
We're not perfect.
Yeah, we're not exactly. We're not perfect. I'm still a work in progress. I was that person for almost 30 years. I've only been this person going on 4 years now. So I'm still ironing out some of the wrinkles. And so you'll be able to tell when you're dealing with the individuals that you're dealing with. When you talk to them, like, hey man, this guy, and also stay mindful that that we are men who come from a total different walk of life. We're not emotional creatures by nature, in that sense. We may be emotional, but the one emotion we tend to feel the most of is anger because that's the one emotion that has kept us comfortable most of our life.
I wanted to cut in real quick on a side note.
Sidebar.
Yeah, because I mentioned the hustles like taffy and cookie wheels and stuff, and I wanted to ask you, James, do you want us to send you some taffy?
Shit. If you can, shoot it. I've never had it. I don't think I've ever ate taffy, but I guess this will be my first experience. Maybe I could catch it on video too.
Yeah. And because we were thinking about sending some to you, because we have hobby cards. Yeah. So we were thinking, well, maybe guys send out art and stuff like that. So I was like, maybe we can try to send out some taffy. We gotta send some to Bruce Willis and Lex Luthor before they send it to Russians to get help. Well, I was thinking, maybe I could make a cool little block of it, and send it to you, and maybe you can send some to Fish Layer or a Lice Man, Yep. And then
some of the dedicated listeners.
Yeah. So I was thinking, some prison taffy. And I do have magic hands when it comes to taffy. But yeah, I was thinking about it. Maybe we could get it on video, huh? That'd be a good thing right there. James's first taste of quality prison taffy. And I don't even know if we can call it taffy either. I just don't know what to say these days.
Trademark infringement?
Are you there, James?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Phone even working?
I'm right here.
All right, just gonna.
He could. He talked because his mouth was watering.
Yeah.
About the taffy.
Yeah, speechless. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna try something that we've been thinking about doing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you first. All right, so what's the plan, Jess?
Yeah. So basically, just you guys for the one that asked about the relationship, just stay mindful of the individual you're dealing with and patient. You know, you'll see what it is. You know, and if you feel that you know that it's more than you can handle, then you got to make the decisions to fall back. You know. And just know that, like how KC said, you know, she's not going to be jaded by her last relationship, you know.
And so, yeah, and there's relationships out there where, you know, there are people that they have a bad breakup. They're with a guy that, you know, they found out maybe the guy was cheating, or the guy, you know, they just had a bad experience with somebody out there, and a lot of them they're hesitant to go back into the dating pool.
Yeah.
And the same goes for in here. But you get in here, you get a quality man in a can.
Yeah.
Like we're literally like, you need a can opener to pop open this can. And these guys are fresh.
Yeah. Like the Pillsbury dough roll?
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are fresh out of the oven right here. You know, and that, so yeah, you get that too, you know. There's a lot of guys that are in here that are in shape, and you know, they're just, a lot of these guys are all heart, man. And it's just, you just got to know how to navigate that type of I don't know what it is in my ends, huh? That type of character. Navigate.
What the?
I don't know what the heck happened.
You went all country bumpkin on us, dog.
I did. It was a Kansas City fan. That's what it was.
Yeah. You went all KC.
KC.
Said, who are you, Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz?
Navigate.
Yeah. What's
Yeah, I don't know.
Going back to Kansas. Here we go.
Yep. Hey, James, say Kansas City and Cholo.
Can't do that. You can't say Kansas City gangster.
No, you got to say Kansas. You know,
Yeah.
you say it all crazy.
Hey, don't they got a barrio in Los?
You got to say
Kansas?
what do you
Kansas
say?
City?
Ciudad de Kansas.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah, they do. So you can't
Yeah,
say that.
Kansas,
That's,
yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I wonder how they did.
That's right. Yeah, don't say that. Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Hey man, what's up, man? You banging?"
No problems. Yeah, no problems here, man. I just came to this country to work.
I see the brocha.
Yeah, I seen the brocha whipping up.
Yeah, you have to say that you just came to this country with a perfect Valley Girl voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, hey, we're not gonna live that down, Chubby Jessica.
Yeah, we were about to roast each other, Jessica.
Yeah, like that was a perfect English Valley Girl accent.
She was like, oh my God. And I was like, what the?
Okay. There was like, usually, I thought she would be like, oh my God, you know, with it like, God. Oh my God.
Hey, did Fish SoCal ever check in?
Nah, you
We're
know
missing
what?
The boy right there.
He I know he's been busy.
What happened?
He's tapped in. Like the last few times he's tapped in, he's mentioned that he has like other stuff going on. So he hasn't really been able, you know, to come into the lives and whatnot. But he's still, you know, he'll still drop in from time to time. I know he was on here a few nights ago, but not today. And then I also got a message for you guys from Casey_fan1. She writes, "I want you guys to know I'm a supporter and advocate for the incarcerated, and I'm proud of both of you."
Hey, we really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Our mission is to try to grow that advocacy for the incarcerated. We're still here. We're system impacted. Our family are system impacted, and we'd like to highlight individuals in here that are making amazing changes in their lives, rising out of adversity. You know? That's what motivates us to graduates.
We're here to show them that there is a different kind caliber of individuals in here, and it doesn't make us any better than the next. None of that, because we were those people for years and years and years. We made a lot of the same horrible choices. We were everything that society said we were, which is why they put us in here and expect to throw away the key. Because laws are changing, and we're doing the necessary work and the transforming our lives in order to hopefully one day obtain our freedom again. And so just, you know, the fact that she supports us, that's great, because that's why we do this channel, because we're trying to show people out there like, look, man, you know, prison isn't everything that you hear about it. Like, there's people in it, there's great individuals in here, you know, and hopefully you guys get a little bit of that from just, you know, being able to listen to some of our stories and interact with us.
We encourage you to listen to our stories. You know, we started this podcast from the beginning. I started it in my juvenile when I went into the juvenile system, and they're long, but we were very descriptive and very detailed about what we experienced, Jesse and I. And we had different paths. Our paths collided at times, and we went about our lives, But we want to highlight that, hey, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you are, no matter what you've done in the past, you can always stop the behavior. You can stop. When the smoke cleared, and Jesse and I, we realized, okay, well, what did we become? We became monsters. We became so consumed with power, control, and our addictions that we were not willing to see how much harm we had caused to people. And a lot of what I do today is in honor of all of my victims. I'm here because I ended somebody's life. He's gone. He's no longer going to be a part of his family ever again, except for in spirit. And I'm responsible for that. But I don't have to continue victimizing anybody, including them. Every time that I refused to accept responsibility, I was continuing to hurt those people, whether they knew what I was doing or not. I knew what I was doing. I wasn't acknowledging that pain. So I chose to end that. I chose to end that suffering as much as I could from my part, further suffering. They're always going to hurt for what I did to their loved one.
Yeah.
But I can't continue to hurt those people anymore. And I know exactly what I did. I know exactly the pain that I caused. I can't put myself in their shoes exactly, but I have an idea because I've done the work. I've done the work, and I can acknowledge, hey man, that I'll never be able to truly understand what I've taken from you, but I can definitely try my best to understand and to not continue to hurt them. And that's why I do this. This is in honor of my victims. And people like you, KC. I'm glad you can see that there are a lot of guys like us in here, and we're growing. Our movement is growing. It's not the same yard that I walked into 20 years ago. The same type of environment. It's just different, The guys
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
The guys look similar, but even they look different.
Yeah. The changes we've been able to make would have never been possible in the yard 20 years ago.
No way.
Prison was just not conducive to that kind of change.
You see the guys with the tattoos and the same old symbols, but now they look different. Now they're in front of laptop computers. Now they got their hair grown out, combed to the side. You could barely see.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yep. Jesse's got a huge tattoo on the back of his head, but he's got a little fade, camouflaging it. James, we're going to go and give you a call back.
I'm going to get it removed, though, in a couple months. I'm going to start lasering that one off.
Okay.
Give you a call back, James. It's going to cut off.
Yep. All right. Hey, how's it going? Lovely sunshine, and welcome. And then I saw that message that Veronica G put on here. I made some yesterday, so good. And you're talking about that taffy, pineapple, orange flavor. Man, well, shit. I can't wait for them to shoot that taffy over here this way. I do have a sweet tooth, so I do love sweets. And Chubby Jessica writes, haha, thanks. And she was saying thanks to that Valley Girl, what was it, talk. And Tanya writes, good talk tonight. Yep, man. So you know what? I like, there we go. We're back again. Let me see.
This call is now being recorded.
Esta es Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
TKO. Technical knockout.
Out?
Technical
Gracias por utilizar
knockout.
Global Telling.
Knockout.
Yeah.
James.
Yes, hello.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we got a comment on here. You know how you were talking about the taffy?
Yes, sir.
Miss Vero said that she recently she made some pineapple and let me see, what was it, pineapple orange flavored taffy yesterday. She made some
It's a
yesterday.
good mix.
Yup, yup.
That's a great
It's a
mix.
great mix. We do use pineapple. We do use orange. I put some other stuff in it. Like I use tahini, and we have some secret recipe stuff to help with the heat. But that's cool. She made some. That's cool as hell.
Where'd she get her recipe from?
Yep. Who
Yeah.
gave her the recipe for taffy?
I think she got it from Javi. Javi was holding a taffy making class one day, right after his over the phone dance classes.
No, hey, it's no, it's good, man, and I'm sure Javi knows how to do it. I'm pretty sure my taffy is I make it differently than him. No one here has been able to figure out my recipe in his yard.
Most taffies in prison. It's funny because when Dave got here, because I make taffy too, I make bomb ass taffy, and most taffies in prison they deviate a little bit from the normal recipe here and there, and I've pretty much gotten all of them down to a science. But so when Dave got here and he's like, yeah, I make pretty good taffy. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's cool, because to me all taffy, you've had one, you've had them all, and I can honestly say that he brought a different dynamic to the taffy game than I had seen, So far he definitely has the crown, the taffy crown, and I've had a lot of different taffies. Like I said, I make it myself, and I've used all the different variables of recipes.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
His recipe is the first one that has been unique, so I got to give him that, But if she's using pineapple Kool-Aid, she's off to a good start for the best taffy anyways, because pineapple Kool-Aid is always going to make the best taffy, period.
Delicious.
So she's on to something. I'm going to need a piece of her taffy. So matter of fact, James, when we send you taffy, you make sure you grab a piece of hers and send it back to us.
Yeah, but send it to him though. Send it to Jesse. I'm not trying to go to the hole for getting a block piece of taffy in the mail.
Yeah, Dave, we're gonna hear Dave's and ads today because he got a piece of taffy in the mail.
And you're like, look, I'm telling you guys, it's taffy there. That's what they all say.
Yeah, they all say it's taffy. You're going to the hole, Santana.
Yeah.
However long it takes to break up your little taffy gang.
Yeah. Don't say gang. I'm gonna be in a freaking in a box, huh? Like the old school freaking 1930s hole.
Yeah.
Laying next to a hole in the ground. That's also my toilet.
Yes, they're gonna be dumping food down the grain to the grate.
Yeah, they're feeding me raw grains.
Yeah. That's all bad.
Hey, what's going on with you, James? What's up, man? I heard your little girl, man, in the background, and I just got to make sure you're all right.
Yeah, she wants me to. She wants me to put her some lizard videos on YouTube. Ahí está.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lizard.
So we gotta go to Yard again pretty soon. So I don't know if this is gonna be our last phone call. We may get another one in, but we have Yard tonight. They're supposed to open it up at 6:30. They never do. So it's gonna be closer to 6:40, probably 6:45. Sometimes they push us till 7. Why Yard is so important on the weeknights, on the weekdays, is because we do CGA out there, Criminals and Gang Members Anonymous. It's something that we do for our community. Jesse and I are facilitators, and we get the guys together. We spread the word around the Yard and tell them, look, go to the bleachers. The Yard will either fall on a Saturday or a Sunday. It's on a rotation. So next week it's going to fall on Saturday night. So from 7 to 8, we get out there and we have a meeting, Criminals and Gang Members Anonymous. It's a 12-step program. It's tailored for people that are like us, had addictions to criminality, drugs, gangs. It was written by a guy named David Mexico, I think wrote that. CGA. He wrote it on death row, and it was to modify the 12 steps of NA, but more tailored for people like us that had grown up in the system. The steps are similar, but there's enough differences where we can really get into and pick apart our past, and we do the daily inventory and helps us stay aligned with our spiritual principles. So it's cool. But yeah, we're gonna go out there. We would love to play hooky, but spend some more time with you guys. But the fellas out there, we are the ones that are running the class.
They're definitely relying on us.
Yep, I bring the sign-in sheet. The Anti-Recidivism Coalition, their program director, program manager, he does support us. So he tries to help with materials, which is the pamphlets, and to give these guys recognition when they complete 20 weeks. But it's completely free of the institution. We don't go into a classroom or nothing like that. It's on the guy's own time. So when it's our yard rotation at night, that's what we do. We go out there and we continue being of service. And that's different. I could imagine some of the guys that walk by, and these guys, they got scuff marks on them. Javi's out there. We got a few Gary's out there. Yeah,
Silence. Everybody that comes on the channel is usually out there.
Yep, usually out there.
And that's our weekly meetup.
Yep. Tonight we're going to talk about the beginning of CGA talks about the lifestyle addiction to criminality. We talk about obsessive compulsive progression. Basically, that's what triggers relapses and whatnot. So we just make sure that we're doing everything that we can to stay pro-social, productive in here.
Hey, and Ms. Vero put a comment here a while ago. She put, I met a great friend from here. Gracias is going well. There it is.
Hold on, James. Yeah, we can't hear you. The phone ducks
Ah,
off.
all right. What a.
Hear you. It buzzed out.
Don't you just
We
hate
haven't done
that?
that in a minute.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
All
Yeah,
right.
we got a lot of calls in.
Yeah, yeah. And don't forget to.
Oh, there you are.
Okay.
Hey,
So,
you're back. The phone cut off. Go ahead.
all bad. So, Ms. Vero, she writes that she met a great friend from here, from the channel, and gracias is going well. Yeah, babe, we're here to make them connections. That's why they're here. If you guys got any questions, feel free to go ahead and reach out to these gentlemen via the GTL Getting Out app, and they might be able to help you out. If you're going through anything in your life, you have a little one that's incarcerated, and if you're not comfortable to ask the questions here in a public forum, you could always get at them one on one, and they could go out and help you to the best of their ability.
Absolutely, and like I said before, look, as far as recovery goes, as far as giving advice and stuff like that, look, I'm open to giving that advice. I'm all for it. Keep in mind, I do know where the line is, and I'm not saying anybody on this.
All right, so the phone went dead. It looks like
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
there is some technical difficulties over there with the GTL, or better known as garbage cell link. It looks like the audio just went in and out for a quick moment right there. It looks like it's trying to come back in, but it's not making that connection. I did upload about a 10-minute clip of this YouTube video onto TikTok, and hopefully it pulls some more people over from TikTok over to YouTube. But yeah, we'll definitely be back by Cinco de Mayo on TikTok, and hopefully we're able to write it incident free without getting our status pulled, and end up in the TikTok pinta, if you will. If it makes any sense, and it looks like we've out of I don't think they're gonna come back, because normally it'll come back within a moment or two. So hopefully the phones don't start having issues, because I'm expecting a call at 8:30 or so with Eric Fuentes. Will anyone else be calling tonight? Yeah. Eso dice FTB. No dice nada, mamá. And so yeah, Eric Fuentes will be on about 8:30, which would be in about 2 hours or so, give or take. Sometimes it might take a little bit. It might take a little bit longer, just because these phones don't always work. And then hey, Michael, I really appreciate it. Right, it's a great conversation tonight, James. Yeah, hey, that's all David and Jesse. I'm connecting the dots right here. I'm pretty much just playing operator, but I do enjoy jumping on these lives and helping out in any way that that I can, to keep them going smoothly, and for them to get out their message. And Lovely Sunshines, does your girl like drawing tutorials on YouTube? Yeah, she watches them. She'll watch them here and there, like drawing Sonic and Knuckles and Mario and things of that nature. Sometimes we'll pull it up on the TV, and we'll just start drawing. I'm not the greatest drawer, but then again, I'm not the worst. I could do a little something, something. No, nothing too spectacular. Nothing that I could tattoo on anybody. Or I wouldn't recommend it unless you want some chicken scratch. But my daughter, she's definitely getting better. Every day that she draws, she is getting a lot better at drawing. And I want to go ahead and help her out as much as I can, so she could go ahead and hone in on that ability. And she's bringing me something back right now. Let me. Dice T T T T. Two T's. El fish se llama Titi? Oh, está bonito, mama. So she be doing all kinds of little stuff. She be drawing, like right now she brought me some fish, like a goldfish. So Eric is calling at 8:30. Yeah, I'll see you then. Yeah, hey, see you then. Yeah. So about that time. If you are following us on YouTube, then you should get the alert. If you're not getting the alert and you are following us, from what I hear, you might need to subscribe and unsubscribe, and enable all your alerts. How do you do that? To be quite honest with you, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming it's somewhere under the settings. And if Jesse and David don't come back in the next moment or two, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it because I gotta get back to my project over here. I gotta go ahead and continue painting, and because my time's short on getting that done. And Chubby Jessica, thank you, James. Great show. I thank you guys for coming in and listening. Yeah, I remember when I originally started, it was a ghost town right here around here, but whatever amount of people we could get in, and as long as the message is going out, that's all that matters. All right, and like I said around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we are out. You guys go ahead and have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully you guys will be back for Eric and Miss Berro. Always good vibes here. That's right. None of that hoop banging here. None of that over here. Want to keep it positive. All right. And with that being said, good night y buenas